if you are a man and you have a younger sister or a wife and you are watching this video, or you are a woman and you are watching this video, make sure you watch this video and share this video to all women that you know, whether it's your wife, whether it's your younger sister, because I've come to understand that most women, they don't understand the meaning of circle length. They don't even understand whether their circle is regular or not. So in this video, I will explain to you the meaning of circle length, the meaning of a regular circle, and the meaning of an irregular circle. Because some women, when they come to the hospital, by the time you ask them as a doctor, say, "Madam, what is your circle length?" Some of them, they will tell you, "I say my circle length is 3 days, my circle length is 5 days." That means they don't even understand the meaning of circle length. For some women, when they come to the hospital and the doctor asks them, say, "Madam, is your circle regular?" They will say, "My circle is regular." By the time you go forward and begin to probe them, begin to ask them, "How do you know your circle is regular?" They will tell you, "My circle is regular. I used to see my circle every month." Please, that is not the meaning of regular circle. So in this video, I will explain to you what a circle length is and what a regular or irregular circle is all about. Because if you understand your circle length and if you know whether your circle is regular or irregular, you can know the best time to meet with your wife, all right, to get pregnant, or you can also know the best time to avoid touching your wife so that your wife does not get pregnant, or sister. So let's get started. The first thing I want you to know is what is menstruation. You have to understand what menstruation is all about. All right, menstruation is the cyclical shedding, all right, of the endometrial cells. All right, it's something that occurs every month. It's something that a woman experiences every month. A woman that has gotten to that age of puberty, that woman experiences it every month. All right, it is that phase in your life when you begin to see blood coming out from your menstrues every month. That is menstruation. All right, now for you to know what circle length is, circle length simply refers to as the number of days, I repeat, the number of days between the first day you saw your period in a particular month to the first day you saw your period in the next month. Now let me break it down so that everybody can understand, even somebody that did not go to school can understand. Now let's assume that today's date, all right, is 1st of January 2023. I'm just assuming now because today's date is not 1st of January, but let's assume that today's date is 1st of January. So I want you to carry your calendar and follow me so that you can understand what I'm talking about. I want to explain to you what circle length is all about so that you will know your circle length, because all women does not have the same circle length. Generally speaking, medical scientists assume that 28 days is the average circle length for every woman, but every woman has its own particular circle length, including you. You have your own particular average circle length. So you must calculate your average circle length for you to know the circle length that is peculiar to you. All right. So women, they may have 21, some may have 22, some may have 27, 29, some may have 35. So it's important that you know your average circle length. All right. For you to know your own particular average circle length, you must calculate it. All right. Don't just work on the general assumption that now is 28. No, you must calculate your average circle length and know it for yourself, because it will help you. Sometimes when you come to the hospital, the doctor might ask you, "What is your average circle length?" If you don't know it, you might not be able to give the doctor that kind of answer. All right. So to know your average circle length, all right, you must calculate it for at least 3 months. All right. You must monitor your period for at least 3 months. All right. Like I said before, I said circle length is the number of days between the first day you saw your period in a particular month to the first day you saw your period in the next month. Now let me break it down now. Now just go to your calendar and go to January 1st, 2023. I'm using January 1st. I'm assuming that today's date is January 1st, 2023. Now let's assume that today's date is January 1st, 2023, and you saw the first day, I repeat, the first day you saw your period was January 1st, 2023. What you need to do is to go to that January 1st, 2023 and circle that day, January 1st, because that's the first day you saw your period in that particular month of January. So you circle it, all right, that January 1st, you circle it. I remember that period is something that you see every month. You see it in January, February, March, April, May, June. It's something that you see every month, all right, as a woman, all right. So after you have seen your period in that month of January, the first day is January 1st. For the month of February, the first day you see your period in the month of February, or some women they might not even see it in that month of February, they might see it earlier than February. All right, but let's just assume that for the next month you saw your period in 2nd of February 2023, you now go to that 2nd of February and circle that second. All right, so you will now count the number of days between that 1st of January 2023 to that 2nd of February 2023. You now count it. 2nd of January 1, 3rd of January 2. You now count it until you get to the 2nd of February. The number of days in between the 1st of January, all right, to the 2nd of February is your circle length for that particular month, for that month of January to February. All right, you also do the same thing for March. You calculate the first day you saw your period in March. All right, some women, they might not see it in March, it might come earlier than March. They might see it in 28th of February, they can see it in 27th of February. So that first day you saw your next period, you go and circle it. Let's assume that you saw your period. All right, the next month you saw your period was 1st of March. So you're gonna go to 1st of March and circle 1st of March. So you now calculate the number of days between the 2nd of February, all right, and the 1st of March. All right, that number of days is now your circle length for February to March. So you will do it like that for 3 consecutive months, for January to February, and from February to March, and from March to April. So let's assume that in April you did not see your period in the month of April. Your period in the next month came before April. Let's say it came March 30th. All right, so you now go to that March 30th and circle that March 30th. Let's say that March 30th was the first day that you saw your period. All right, you will now go to that March 30th and circle that March 30th. You will now calculate the number of days from March 1st, all right, to March 30th. All right, you will now write it down. If it's 30 days, you write it down. If it's 29 days, you write it down. So to know your average circle length, you must calculate the circle length, all right, for at least 3 consecutive months: January to February, February to March, March to April. If January to February is 30 days, you write 30 days. If February to March is 29 days, you write 29 days somewhere. If March to April is 30 days, you write 30 days somewhere. You will not get your average circle length. You will not add those 3 days, those 3 circle length of each particular month. January to February, 29 days, for example. February to March, 30 days. March to April, 29 days. I'm just giving an example. You will not add those days together: 28 plus 29 plus 30. All right. By the time you get those values, after adding those 3 circle length of each particular month together, 28 plus 29 plus 30, for example, any value you get, you will now divide it by 3. All right, that is now your average circle length. So by the time you come to the hospital and doctor asks you, "Madam, what is your average circle length?" you will now tell the doctor the value that you got it after you have added those 3 values together and divided by 3. That is your average circle length. It's very important that as a woman, you know your average circle length, because if you know your average circle length, you can decide, or you can calculate when next you will see your period. You can use your circle length, all right, to determine the period you are ovulating, all right, if your circle is regular. So make sure as you are watching this, and share this video to any female persons, any female friend that you have, whether it's your wife or your younger sister.